All right, so it's 9 o'clock, so let's get going so you guys can get on your way and do what you need to do today. So, so one of the greatest things about Aspen, as far as I'm concerned, is that the tool is completely integrated. So all of the data points that we're collecting in the district are integrated into one place, whether it's staff attendance, whether it's student attendance, whether it's student discipline information, whether it's local assessments. All of that information is stored in one place, as well as all of the standardized assessments that our students take in the district. And for me, what's really important is that it's all connected to the curriculum mapping tool in Aspen. So the curriculum mapping tool is a tool where we can actually build the curricula for the school district. So if I click on the assessment top tab, I'm going to get into the curriculum map area. All of the information that we have regarding, how do you do these different things, they're all stored in the tech resources section. So if you go in there, you'll see that there are some technology resource folders. One of them deals with curriculum mapping. So if I go into curriculum tools, you'll see that we have some PDF documents and then a whole bunch of little video clips regarding the tool. So to get into the curriculum map, you simply click on the assessment tool. And when you click on the assessment top tab, you'll see that you have some options to your left. All of this is done, by the way, in the district view. So in order for you to get to the curriculum maps to really edit them and work within them, you go to the district top tab, assessment top tab, and then curriculum maps side tab. And so when I do that, you'll see that right now we have 94 curriculum maps that we've been working on. Some of those are discontinued, but we're working on taking all of our curricula documents and kind of bringing them over into the curriculum map area. Okay, so the curriculum map really is the place that houses all of the curricula documents in the district. These curriculum maps are then connected to teacher courses, and they're also connected to a teacher's planner and a teacher's gradebook. So there's a real tight integration between the curriculum map and then what teachers are assessing in their classrooms, things that we're assessing district-wide as well. So I'm going to go into a couple of curriculum maps so you can kind of see what they look like. In fact, one of the ones that I've been kind of showing quite a bit lately is the Grade 4 Writing curriculum map. So I'm going to click on Grade 4 Writing. And when I do that, it shows you the details for the curriculum map here. And there's a chart to the left in the curriculum map left tab. There's a sub-tab called Chart. When I do that, when I click on that, it actually shows me the curriculum map as a Gantt chart. And so you can see that I have Grade 4 Writing is the main topic, and that is for a duration of 180 days, and it starts on day 1. And so curriculum maps have 3 basic parts to them. The overall structure of the map, so the main curriculum map name, and then they have map topics within the curriculum map. And all of this really is predicated on the day a topic starts and for the duration of the topic. And in fact, if you look, you can see these little plus signs. It means that there are items underneath this main topic here. So if I click on the plus sign, it actually starts to expand those, and you can see that under narrative writing here, there's a subtopic called Establishing the Rituals and Routines. And when I click on that subtopic, you can see that it actually shows up right here. And within that subtopic, there may be lessons within the subtopic. And in fact, if I click Show Lesson Plans, you'll see that it expands a little bit more, and you can actually see that there are lessons within here. And so all of this curriculum map actually allows us to connect what's happening with a teacher's curriculum map, their lessons in the day, and then standards. So all of these pieces are really connected together. So if I click on this, you can see that here's the main topic here, and then we have a bunch of lessons within that. So I'm going to go back out to this main map topic so that we can talk about each of those areas just a little bit more. So I wanted to kind of give you a brief little overview that a curriculum map is made up of map topics, and then within map topics there are usually lessons that are created within that. So if I go into this main map area, I get the details for that now. So this is basically saying that this curriculum map in grade 4 starts on day 1. It's 180 days, and it has a particular document structure here that guides what's in that curriculum map. Here's the most important piece here. It's got the standards within the curriculum map. And so what we're really doing is we're connecting what's taken place in classrooms at a specific point in time to curriculum standards, or in this case,
I have a quick question.
Yep, go ahead.
As far as the standards, is there guidance in the program for the teacher creating the curriculum map as far as which standards, or do they kind of have to make all the connections to the standards themselves?
So the curriculum maps typically are done at a district level. We're kind of going about this a little differently, where we have teams of teachers working on these curriculum maps. At that point, they're the ones choosing. So if I go into, so here's the overview, right? If I click on this little edit button, what happens is the curriculum standard tool pops up, and this is where I would go in and start looking at the standards within here. So if I click on narrow by category fill, it shows me that I have an option to pick from Common Core and Rhode Island. Very soon we'll see additional national content standards in there, like world languages, or the science frameworks will be in there. The NCTM standards will be in there. So any of the national content standards will also show up. So if I click on Common Core here, what this allows me to do is this allows me to go through and say, okay, this is an ELA standard, right? And then I can say this is grade 4. And then once it's in grade 4, I can say, okay, these are some writing standards that I'm looking at. And in fact, as I start to whittle through, you can actually see the ones that I've already picked. So these are all of the ones in writing that we've already picked for this curriculum map. So teachers actually are the ones that go through and start whittling through those standards and targeting the standards that are going to be addressed during the curriculum.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice feature. And will it automatically upload as the new standards become available?
Absolutely. So anytime national content standards are revised or changed, those revisions are automatically uploaded as well.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's very cool. So once you go through that process of picking the standards, they kind of show up in this, in your curriculum map. So I'm going to click Save and Close here. When I do that, I can go in and say, all right, let's take a look at narrative writing, right? And so if I click on this map topic of narrative writing, I get the map topic um, header. And whenever you see the details, if you click on the details item to the left here, it actually opens up the entire document structure there. So if I click here, you'll see that it opens up and it gives me an opportunity to type in some data for the system. So that the title of this is narrative writing. It starts on day 1 and lasts for 60 days. And then I can put a title in here. Our document structure has establishing instructional outcomes and key concepts, designing coherent instruction, strategies and resources, designing formative assessments, and designing summative assessments. And then the standards are in every single document structure, no matter what, because this is all predicated on the fact that curriculum maps are directly aligned to standards. And so you can go through and you can type into one of these areas by just clicking on the box and typing, and add any information, any rich text information that you'd like. You can add video clips embedded within that if you chose to. But what's really cool, as far as I'm concerned, is like all of this is great, but for me, as a classroom teacher, the things that I need the most are the standards and then a place to put resources. And if I have those things, resources and standards, I can figure out a lot of the other stuff myself. So everywhere that you see a document structure box, a field, you can actually add a resource. So in here, designing summative assessments, they actually have conferencing logs. I can actually add any of the resources directly to any of the fields. And so when I click on My Resources, I get a little My Resources box that pops up. And I can take any of these, so I have some writing resources that I've already put in. I can take any of these documents and just dump them right into my curriculum document. When I do that, they get placed in the document. And so if I back out, if I click Save and Close, and I click Show Content, you can see that I just added this document here. Okay, and anywhere there are documents in the map, they'll actually show up as a document that you can download. I'm going to get rid of this grade 1 writing because obviously it doesn't fit here. But if I click on Establishing Routines and Rituals and scroll through, you'll actually see that in Lesson 2 I have a document here. In Lesson 3, I actually have several documents in here. Praise, PQP description, Living Like Writers. So I have a whole bunch of documents in this document field that I can use as a classroom teacher.
Any information?
Yeah, a couple.
Put you on?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. Say hi to Ken.
Hello.
Warning, he just escaped.
Sorry about that. He just popped in for a sec. All right. So if I kind of back out of here, I can also click this View button here. And what that does is that actually shows me a printed version of the curriculum maps. And actually, let me back way out and click View. And you can actually see that you can go through, and here's narrative writing. It starts on day 1. It's got a duration of 60 days. And then this is what we filled out in instructional outcomes. This is what we filled out in designing coherent instruction, strategies, and resources. So any of the text that was filled in there populates there. And then these are the standards that were aligned to that very beginning map topic. And then as I start going through, when I have actual lessons, the lessons will actually show up as well. So here's the first lesson on day 1. It's called Launching the Writers Workshop, a year-long adventure. And then any of the information that teachers populated in there. So it's got the entire lesson plan in there, as well as the standards that are being addressed. So this really becomes a great tool because this connects right back to a teacher's gradebook. So this curriculum map actually shows up in a teacher's planner once their schedules are populated and once we link a curriculum map to a course. And so then, as they're starting to collect data on students, it connects back to their curriculum map, which connects to all of the courses in the district, as well as individually to a kid and individually to a teacher. So it's a pretty powerful tool when it comes down to it. So I just wanted to kind of go over some brief overviews. I'll open it up to some questions right now, and then we can go in a little deeper. Any questions?
I was wondering if at this time or at some point in the future, parents will have viewable access to this?
That's a good question. So, again, because this is connected right to a teacher's planner, as teachers pull documents off of the curriculum map, it actually populates into the planner, which kids see and parents see. So they'll actually see pieces of it within their view in the portal. What we will do is we will have all of the PDF documents for any curriculum map available to parents that they'll be able to sift through if they wanted to. So they could look at the entire curriculum if they chose to. So those documents are available in a variety of ways to them. Any other questions?
So for future development, it's being done at the district level with groups of teachers. Is there like a timeline for full conversion to this, or?
So say that again, Phil. It broke up a little bit.
Is there like a timeline for the full conversion of our curriculum to this mapping program?
Yep. So another good question. So one of the things that we're doing all year is we are working with Common Planning Time groups, so CPTs, to utilize the curriculum mapping tool. So folks in my office will be using this with teachers all year long to take any curriculum documents that we have and bring them over. So we have a lot of our curriculum documents are just pacing guides for the most part, and they have some pretty general pacing pieces to them. What we really want to do is we want to start populating down to the lesson level, because that's really what's important to teachers. You know, a guide is great in terms of saying, you know, in this 10 days, here's what you're working on. But if there are resources that are available to teachers, then that becomes much more valuable to classroom teachers. So Monique asked a couple of questions. She said, are these documents that can be updated by anyone, or is sharing required? And basically what we've done is we've opened up the curriculum map tool to all teachers in the district right now. So we want all teachers to kind of build the curriculum map. So there'll be some guidance and conversations with folks in my office, and then department chairs and things like that at the secondary level. But we really want all teachers to have access and to really, if we really believe that curricular documents are living and breathing animals, then you know, it means that everyone needs to have access to the tools. What else?
Speaking of access, a different program that I looked at for digital curriculum mapping had a feature where teachers could look at lesson plans and maps from various schools around the country and around the world. Is there a segment in this where teachers are allowed to look at other schools and districts and different curriculum maps for different teachers?
So right now, the way the tool is built is it's really based upon our district, what they are building into the tool, and probably we'll see by the middle of this coming school year is a tool for kind of a more of a social networking tool within the curriculum map, so that you can actually share curriculum maps with other Aspen districts and then lesson plans as well. You'll be able to tag lessons and the whole bit. It's just not built into it just yet. It's something that we're working on in development right
Well, that's nice to hear that it's coming.
now. Yeah, I mean, again, the most important piece to all of these tools is that they're all integrated as far as I'm concerned. So being able to go in and add, a lesson plan that's connected right to your grade book is really important, because it also allows teachers to collect formative and summative assessments for student learning objectives, and it's all connected. Do you guys want me to show you how to add a topic to a map?
Sure.
All right. So, and we have directions on this, and you can also go to the help tool right here and go to online help. And when you do that, you'll see information regarding each of the pieces of Aspen. So you can go in and do a search for curriculum, and you'll see some help tools. So really, the way that you add a topic in here is, so right now under narrative writing, we have these two subtopics: establishing the rituals and routines, and writing memoirs. And so I can see that writing memoirs starts on day 11 and lasts for 20 days. So my next curriculum map topic that I add in here, I'll want to add on day 31. The great thing about this too is you can slide things around as well. So if I click on narrative writing, that's my topic here. I want to add a map topic. So when I click on add a map topic, it allows me to go in and add the information for that map topic. So my first unit of study was on writing memoirs. This one might be on writing personal narratives. And I can say that it's going to start on day 30, and that this is going to take 10 days for the kids to accomplish. And I can click Save and Close. And when I do that, it takes that and, again, drops it within this narrative writing. And I can slide it over because I didn't start it on the right day, and it kind of just slides everything over for me. So I can start to go in and actually choose the standards that go along with writing personal narratives. So if I double-click or click on the details, I get my map topic here, and I'm going to go right to the standards and start editing those. So if I click Edit, what the system does is, because I had some standards that I chose in the main topic, narrative writing, it actually whittled through the 5,500 standards and said, here are the 19 standards that you already chose. Do you want to pick from those? So I can say, I know I'm going to use this one and this one and this standard, and every time I click on them, it just kind of pushes them over to the side right here and shows that I've selected those standards. So I can go through and choose all of the standards that I want. And if I click on a standard, I can see that Some of these standards are language standards. So this standard is uses relative pronouns who, whose, whom, which, that, and relative adverbs. So this is a language standard. And this one is S&L, so it's speaking and listening. So I can pull standards from wherever I need to within here. I can also click the Show All box here, because right now I've whittled it down to all the grade 4 writing standards, language, speaking, and listening, ELA standards. If I wanted to, I could click Show All, and it's going to start at the beginning, because there might be some GSEs that I wanted. And I can actually go in and say, gee, I wanted some of the writing GSEs. And grade 4, and narrative writing, and I can actually go in and choose some of the narrative writing GSEs if I chose to. So I can click on these two, and basically what that does is that's taken those standards now and placed them into my new submap here. And so really I can go in and start populating with lessons now, or any other information that I wanted to add in here. If I wanted to add some of the resources, I can go into here and say I have a whole bunch of resources that I want to add in here. And I can go in and choose resources that are shared with me or resources that I own. I can also go in and add any resource that I want to. So if there was a Google Doc that I wanted to add, I can add a web link, I can add a file, I can add whatever I choose to for this assignment. So I could go in and add a file, go into choose a file, let me see. I'm just going to add a picture file here. I don't even know what it is. What it does is it takes that document and it puts it into my resources, and now I can grab this document and drag it over and drop it in. And once I do that, it dumps it into my curriculum map area here as a resource. So when I click Save and Close, and I click Show Content, it's just going to show up here as a document. And I can double click on that, and it will open it up for me. So really what this does is this allows us to start pooling the resources that we want teachers to have access to in a space that they don't have to go look for it in Google Docs or any other place. It's all kind of contained in one area for us. Other questions? All right. Well, I don't hear any questions. I just wanted to kind of give folks a brief overview. What I want to do is just talk to you very briefly about where this connects to the teachers, right? So this connects back to a teacher's planner. And I'm just going to go in and let me go in as a teacher in Wakefield Hills. All right, so I came in as one of the teachers at Wakefield Hills. So this actually connects back. Whoops. You know what? I am getting an error message because I didn't pull over her schedule yet. What this does is this connects back to her planner in her grade book. And there's a tight connection. Let me back out and see if I can go in as a high school teacher. I'll go in as Monique since she's here. All right, let's see, curriculum map. All right, so once we actually go in here and we link any curriculum map documents, they'll actually show up in Monique's planner here. They'll be embedded right in here. And in fact, I can go in and take a peek at some of the curriculum maps that we have. So I know that in math, we haven't enabled them all. Let's see. So I know that this is a curriculum map that we started to work on in algebra. All of this will show up embedded right within her curriculum map. So in day one, she'll actually see relationships between quantities and reasoning with equations. And that information will be embedded right within her planner here. And then there'll be that connection right to her gradebook. So the curriculum maps show up within the teacher's gradebook as well. So it's really well integrated, which means that as we start keeping data on students, that information is available to us to make decisions about kids and whether we're addressing the right standards or not as well. So Monique wrote, the cross-connect to the calendar is pretty awesome. In fact, next week we are getting another upgrade to the system, Monique, and one of the great things about it is in the planner, it actually has a lesson plan, an individual lesson plan that teachers can build in here as well. So I just clicked on your planner and I can add an assignment, I can add an ungraded assignment, I can add an appointment, but what it really does is it actually allows me to build a lesson right within each day that will connect back to the curriculum map as well. So it's really cool the way we're kind of integrating all of these pieces together. It's really neat. So any other questions?
Well, Jim, on the build a lesson part you were just talking about, but that wouldn't automatically be viewable by parents like the curriculum map, would it?
Nope.
Because I know sometimes teachers are, they're building their lesson in their planner part, and things change, and one thing takes longer than the other, and this and that.
Yep. Nope. That stuff, that each individual teacher's lesson plans are really like that teacher's information. They're not sharing their plan book.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
yep.
I mean that's kind of stepping over a line.
Yeah. So they would have to actually consciously upload it from the planner to the curriculum mapping if they wanted it.
Right. And one of the things that we'll be doing eventually within the system as well. So like there's a lot. The system. This is the first year they have the curriculum map built into Aspen. We're one of the pilot districts regarding this. So we're still working on development all this year. One of the things that we're working towards as well is giving teachers the ability to create lessons in their planner, and then within that be able to promote it to their department or promote it to a district map as well. And so there'll be that kind of flow from in the field at the teacher level out to the district map, and vice versa, from the district map being able to kind of blow lessons out to people and then letting them drop a lesson into their own lesson planner. So the curriculum map will show up, but then those individual lessons they'll be able to drag and drop. That's not available today, but that's something that's coming very shortly. So yes, Monique said, and every time I enter an assessment on the calendar, it will cross to my gradebook. It will, Monique. So when you create that assessment in your planner, it actually links right back to your gradebook. That's why this is really so valuable, because what we're doing is we're making that connection between what you value as a classroom teacher right back to a curriculum map. Because really what we want to be able to say is we have thousands of data points for students about who they are. And this really kind of helps us do that. and eventually will help us make some really, hopefully, smarter decisions about curriculum planning as well. That's the goal anyway. Any other questions? Well, we have a lot of resources available for folks in the technology resources listed under pages. So if you click on pages and you go to, I think it's for you guys, it shows up as schools. If you click on schools, you can actually go into the tech resources. And those tech resources are all listed within here as well. So all of those help tools are there for you as well. And we have some discussion forums in here as well if you have some questions, or you can ask a question to the help desk and we'll help you through there as well. So I thank everyone for your time. I could really.
Well, thank you, Jim. That was great.
We're really going to start using this in embedded days this year. Again, it connects back to student learning objectives and teachers developing their learning goals for kids and how we can kind of keep track of some of that information. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Jim. Thanks so
All
much.
right, thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.